Hello everyone, I am Phoenix Tremaine and this is my review of Love and Hip Hop New York. If you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button. If you have subscribed, I really appreciate you um, hopefully enjoying this social media experience with me. I also have my links to like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, where you probably know I'm pretty off the hook and post a lot of crazy shit. A lot of sexy shit too. But let's get into Love and Hip Hop New York. Love and Hip Hop New York, I'm just going to say this really fast. The whole franchise, the only one I really like is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. New York is always hit or miss. I tried to watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood for the first time this year with Malone Christopher and all them on it. But I think I got to the second or third episode and gave up. So if you watch my reviews, you'll see I reviewed like the first and second episode, maybe the third. And then I couldn't take no more. It was just such an insult to the intelligence. And that's what I don't like about Love and Hip Hop. I know it's scripted. I know it's not really reality. But when you insult my intelligence with situations that I know aren't real, I feel like I'm not that dumb. I'm not that dumb to be like, come on. I mean, give the audience some credit and not just feed them bullshit. Now, a lot of people were looking forward to Remy Ma being on the show, and basically, she didn't give me anything. This is Love and Hip Hop. She gave me the love. Her and Papoose, they have a good relationship. I got tired of her saying she got out of jail. She was in jail for 6.5 years. It was like watching Empire with Cookie. I was in jail for 17 and a half years. And then you come watch Love and Hip Hop. I was in jail for 6.5 years. I lost 6.5 years. We get it. I got tired of Cookie saying it, and I'm tired of Remy Ma saying it. I hope that's not an ongoing thing for the whole season, a reminder that she was in jail for 6.5 years. I don't understand Papoose wanting her to have a kid right now, because hip hop, I mean, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. A lot of people like Remy Ma. A lot of people are looking to see if she comes out with a good single, she can good album. But if she's pregnant, this will not happen. So Papoose, she says, I'll give you a baby if you give me my dream wedding because we got married in jail. So he's like, okay, I'll give you a dream wedding. And she's like, in a year, I'll give you a kid. And I'm like, in a year, she should be on tour. Not, breastfeeding, getting bigger, and having babies when she already has a kid and he's got three. So I don't know if that's just a storyline for the show to add the love to the hip hop, but we don't watch this show for these romantic interludes. We watch the show for drama, ratchetness, fights. People throwing water at each other, people throwing glasses, people shaking tables, people fucking around. That's why you watch Love and Hip Hop. You don't watch Love and Hip Hop for a fantasy romance. Then we get Yandy and Mendeecees. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but when he proposed to her, tell me if I'm wrong, didn't he buy her a house? So why is it that when we start this season off, they're in like a condo with, I think, 2 or 3 kids, and they're like, well, I think they have 3 kids. And it's like, we're in this condo and we're so cramped that we need a house, and Yandy wants to get a house, and he's like, we can't get a house because I'm about to go to jail, babe. I'm going to jail. She's like, I don't want to hear that. So she's all in denial and shit. Now, we all know from watching that, I mean, if you watch the blogs or read the blogs, that he's going to go to jail for 8 years. And in the show, she's saying that he can get 5 years or he can get 20 years. So we know he gets 8. And she's like, well, you won't see your son until he's like 23, depending on how much time you get. But that's not true. I have a friend who was telling me a whole about the jail system and everything. And he was like, that's why you get married, so you can have conjugal visits. And that they have family days where you can go in these little houses or whatever. and you can stay there for like a day or two if you've had good behavior. And so he can interact with the children. He can, and Yandy's not the type of person that wouldn't take her kids to see their father in jail. She'd be like, we're going to go see Daddy this weekend. So there are different options that they can go with to maintain their family union while they try to get through this 8 years. But of course, it's Love and Hip Hop, so it's got to be really dramatic. Then we got this Peter, Tara, and Amina shit. I mean, immediately I wanted to turn the shit off. I'm so tired of this triangle. When we had Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with Jocelyn, Stevie J, and Mimi, I was fine with it for 2 seasons. After that, they brought Nico in. They broke him up. Kept Jocelyn with Stevie J, had Mimi with Nico. And, it wasn't the same thing over and over again. I think this is the 3rd season with Amina, Peter, and Tara, and they're in the same fucking triangle. He's got Tara in one apartment, and down the hall, he's got Amina in the next one. He's sleeping with Tara on the bed, on the fucking floor. They don't even have they don't, they don't have anything. I'm like, people are gonna drag him just for having the mattress on the floor when you supposedly have so much money. And then he goes to Amina like, I was in the studio all night, that's why I didn't call. And we all know, this is why I say it's an assault to the intelligence. She's not going to turn on the show and see that you were sleeping with Tara. I mean, that's the insult to the intelligence. The insult to the intelligence is when, he wakes up in the morning, and turns over and there's Tara. No, you got a whole fucking camera crew in there. You got lights, you got sound, you got cameramen. You probably got a director in there with you. So that's always really, they waited all night for them to wake up. No, it's all orchestrated. And then, and that's what's annoying about it. Then we got more music that we'll never hear. You notice all these motherfuckers are always up in the studio and ain't nobody dropping a single. Except maybe, I think every once in a while, like somebody like Olivia dropped a single that went lead. It just went straight to the ground. It just never even reached the top 40. So, so we got Young B, who was a one-hit wonder, who had a song called Chicken Noodle Soup that was a hit 9 years ago. Her brother died and her management didn't treat her right. So now she's going to Yandy to try to get a second start at a new career. And then you got Raya Lee, who's managing Bad Bitches on Deck with Mo Money and Sexy Lexi. And then they reveal a beef that Sexy Lexi has with Young B, whose name is Bianca. And they're just connecting the dots. Suddenly Riley's a manager, Yandy's managing one. They're all connecting them, and they want them to do this showcase that DJ Self, who is another cast member of the show, they want them to do his showcase, and he's like this big DJ who's on Sirius XM, and he's on the radio in New York, and he does all the clubs and stuff like that. So he's supposed to be like a big deal. And then he has Mariah Lynn on his show, and her rap was decent, but once again, insult to the intelligence, because I'm like, he ain't doing no fucking show, he ain't on the radio right now. You can't be on the fucking radio and then stop and just start having conversations with Mariah. It don't work like that. They didn't go to commercial, intermission, nothing. They just started talking. That lets you know they're just doing a scene for Love and Hip Hop. And they want you to hear her rap. So they finally get all the girls together. Now they're supposed to be having this big showcase. When he was on his radio show, he was inviting young female rappers from all over New York to come. But the only 3 acts that come are the 3 acts that are on Love and Hip Hop. Insult to the intelligence. So there was no other female rappers in all of New York that came to the showcase. Okay. So then they have Mariah, she does her thing, but it's really a rap battle between them girls, Bad bitches on deck and Young B because they had beef, where supposedly Young B gave Lexi 15 stitches, whatever. And in the battle, Young B basically won, and which led to her and Lexi having a blowout. And Yandy like, oh my goodness, I don't even know if I want to sign her now. If she's gonna be that ratchet. Yandy's been on this show long enough to know this is what you do. This is episode 1. You know it ain't gonna be, show you going off without at least one fight. So Lexi spits at Young B, but I bet she wasn't even standing there. I bet she was just spitting for the scene. And Young B said it didn't get on or whatever. But it was all orchestrated. They did the same thing with that first episode of Love and Hip Hop where Ray J had his little swing party or whatever the fuck he was doing, and his girlfriend came, and he was like, oh no, this is supposed to be a last hurrah or whatever, and then she's getting fight with strippers and shit. Whatever. And then Remy Ma, Papoose, he formally proposes to her, and he gets a castle for them to have their wedding in. Like I said, they are creating a love storyline for them, but this ain't the show for that. They should have their own show to do that. We want folks ratchet as fuck. That's why you watch it, because you want to see some ratchet ass shit, and that ain't ratchet. And then it ends with Yandy and Mendeecees, where he lets her know he's definitely going to jail, and she's sitting there crying and shit because he's actually going to jail in real life. So Love and Hip Hop and real life do collide on occasion. But that was pretty much the show. I'm thoroughly disappointed that Cardi B wasn't on this episode, since she's the only reason why I even gave this season a chance. And so hopefully she'll be on the next episode, because I did check her out on Instagram and YouTube and all that, and she's pretty funny. She's got a nice body, big old titties, everything, nice ass, and she speaks her mind. She ain't afraid to say what the fuck she thinking, and that's what I like, because she comes off as a real ass bitch. And that's what I want to see, some realism on this unreal ass show, even if it's just her just making me laugh like Jocelyn would. And that's the show. Shit. That's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. And check out my talk show. I have the first one out now, Best Sexual Experiences, where you get to find out my best sexual experiences along with other people on the panel. And then the next one coming out is the females on the panel. They're going to do their worst sexual experiences. And then for Christmas, which is like next week, I'm gonna release a very emotional one we did, because we do politics and sex and dating and all that kind of stuff. But I asked, what is the lowest point in your life and how did you overcome it? So people revealed some real ass shit. I love the fact that they did not hold back, and they opened themselves up and like I said, people on the panel was crying. One lady couldn't take it. She had to leave the panel because she was crying so hard and to get herself together. And it was just a really great experience, because I think that our experiences of what we've been through will help other people. And that's why we're here. So subscribe to me if you have. Thank you. Follow me on all my other platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. And I hope you enjoyed this video.
This is Speedy Escobar, commentator on the talk show Phoenix Remains the Hard Truth. And we just filmed a great topic on the best sexual experience. That experience that you can just jerk off from memory. That experience that you're going to think about for the rest of your life.